You will never pass the 6th grade. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll never pass the 6th grade because you're just an alien. That's what your siblings always say. You're an ugly little ducky. You don't belong in the family. You're gonna be traded just like Joseph with a technical color, dream coat. Your brothers are jealous of you. You're gonna be adopted away. You're gonna be thrown in a hole, and your coat is gonna be ripped up, and your coat is gonna be said, "Hey man, an animal ate your son, Jacob, and this is all we got left. It's so sad." And the father's gonna believe it, and you're gonna be conned away and sold away as a slave and never come back. But again, the Potiphar, Potiphar, he's gonna trust you because he has a lot of money, and you're gonna not gonna sleep with his wife, and he's gonna trust you. But then you're gonna be thrown in jail too, and then the king of Egypt, Pharaoh, is going to find you, and then you're going to interpret his dream, and he's going to love you, and he's going to give you power, and then your long-lost brothers that betrayed you will come, and you'll still hate them for a little and put them through some trials, but eventually you're going to let them come and escape the famine in Israel and go to Egypt, and you're going to save your own people, your own family and relatives and descendants and ancestors and all those peoples and their cattle as well. And they're going to come and they're going to hug you and love you, even though they should hate you, but then again not hate you. Even though you had the dreams of them bowing down to them, they eventually do, and you're going to like them, even if they did sell you and maybe called you an alien in a way, or a metaphorical, hypothetical kind of way. You are the leader and second command because you are Joseph, and that's your name, and you have a powerful name because your name means he who adds, because you know it's not about the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog, says Michael Jordan. That's a quote. Don't wear it out. It's better late than never. Better safe than sorry. No pain, no gain. You know it's good to the last drop, and you better have it your way. But you have to start with a good name, and you have to have a meaning behind your name. You better know the meaning of your name. And if the going gets tough, the cup gets going. The tough does get going if the going gets tough. And when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, and then you have some Pop-Tarts to go with it. You eat it. Even if it falls on the ground, there's the 5 seconds rules, and I think it's pretty fine. Because you're pretty fine, especially when the girl asks you out for the Sadie Hawkins dance. Then you know life is pretty well. And you could be a what do you call it, a chick magnet, and have girls come to you because you have a magnet that pulls them to you, and opposites attract. But then you'll have some bad days too at the same time. So it doesn't matter what people call you, whether you're a so-called popular person or if you're a weirdo and you're called an alien, you're part of the god group that wears black makeup all the time and say God all the time. You will still be in the middle ground of normality and formality, because that happens every once in a while. Because we're humans, and we're all more in common with each other than we can ever imagine, we ever know. We have a lot of things in common, and that's what happened to me. I'm actually talking about my life when I say about siblings calling a person an alien. I was that person and still am that kind of person. I was born, and this is a story of my life. So here are some spoiler alerts, like as if I'm a movie that can't be spoiled, as if I'm a film or a video game or a TV show series like Game of Thrones that can be definitely spoils with spoiler alerts. No way, you're not an only child. You can't be spoiled. What in the world? We don't care. We're not gonna watch your videos anymore, especially about your life. Go ahead, make my day. You can't handle the truth, and if you don't want to watch my videos about my life, then go ahead, turn the channel, watch another YouTube video like Ray William Johnson, where he reviews videos and laughs about it and throws little black and white and yellow babies and all the different colors of the rainbow. Sorry, rabbits tricks are for kids. And throws a little different babies, different color babies onto the wall and say, oh no, that's racist, I better throw a different color baby. Talk about having sex with ghosts and aliens and dead people and all these other things. Not to say that it's the only thing he talks about, because he talks about serious things in his podcast, which also is a video game. Also a video game, not a video game. It's also, a videos. It's also like 20-minute videos. Him and another girl. They talk. They have podcasts. Ray William Johnson. And then there's also and there's also Fred. And there's also the Orange. The angry Angry Bird knows an annoying orange. So there's plenty of other videos you can watch. You don't have to watch me. But you could watch me if you really want to know that when I was younger, my siblings called me an alien. I was about 4 years old, so that was about the year 1989. Where were you? It was around the time of the Berlin Wall that was falling. It was falling. The the sky is falling. The Berlin Wall is falling. Oh my goodness. Everything's coming to an end, or bad people are coming in and coming down, going down. You're going down, mister. And they actually had video games that were around that time for the Nintendo Entertainment System called, you guessed it, what was it called again? Metal Gear. Metal Gear. That story was around that time, and then they have a backstory that goes decades before the 1980s as well. And I can do some reviews on that, talk about all about that, but I wouldn't really talk in enough detail to make you hang on for your life to be like, oh man, wow, you're so full of details. You'd be like total opposite, man, you don't even know what you're talking about, kind of thing. Yeah, because I'm an alien, and that's what I was called from early on. My siblings, my older brother, Richard Skyler Arnold, and my older sister, Katie Jean Arnold, they would call me an alien. Maybe they were joking, maybe they were not, I don't know, but I took it for heart. I took it to heart and believed it. Really believed it. I really believed it for a moment when I was 4 years old, and then I took it as just as a game and fun, and I really liked it, and it was fine. It was fine. It was great, and my bunk bed was the spaceship that I came in from the other planet. I'm just another alien, like Alf and E.T., Phone Home, and all the different aliens. Like, except I'm not totally evil. Like, I want to take over your planet, like in Mars Attack or in Independence Day, or all the other movies out there, like Men in Black. But then again, I might be like a good alien from Men in Black, like Dennis Rodman or Michael Jackson. Some of those guys were reported to be aliens, supposedly. But then you wouldn't remember because the pen is going to zap you and make you forget. There's a pen in Men in Black and makes you forget things. That's okay. That's fine. Handy dandy. Because you're just a bird that's going to be zapped down in the game Duck Hunt. So you won't remember any of this tomorrow anyways. You're an angry bird, and I'm an alien. That's what my sibling called me, but that's okay. But that's what's going to happen when you're not talking correctly, and I wasn't talking correctly because I had problems with my ears. I was partly deaf, and I needed something to open up my ears. Maybe I had like birth defects, things that you're born with. Your body is born a little different because there's like problems, maybe because you have a father who also has birth defects. Like you have Teresa Collins, and you have dyslexia that makes you read backwards or think backwards and stuff like that, maybe a little. And I had that more when I was younger, and now I'm kind of getting over it a little bit. I still have weaknesses at times, and times I make mistakes. We're not perfect, so we kind of make mistakes. When the going gets tough, eat some tomato sauce. And life is really hard like that, but you have to keep on going. You be like the little engine that could. Be a little engine that could, and don't stop when the going gets tough. The tough gets going, and keep going and roll with the punches and flow with the flow, but don't always go with the flow, and sometimes you have to go against the flow. When you're called an alien, that's tough, but then you have problems with your ears, and that's what I had. I had problems with the ears, but then the doctors, they put hearing tubes in my ears, or ear tubes, hearing tubes, stuff that helps my ears. It goes in my ears. It was in my ears since I was like 1 years old, or before I was 1 years old. I was born in 1985, so that'd be like 1986 or so, around that time when they put the hearing tubes in, probably in Beaverton. Because I was born in Forest Grove, Oregon, which is Forest Grove is a city an hour from Portland and like an hour or so from the Pacific Ocean, and it's really close to Washington State. And Oregon is above California State, which is above Mexico and South America and Central America, with Brazil and all that kind of stuff. And Oregon is below Washington State and Canada. Canada is a state with famous actors like Michael J. Fox and Salvation Army speaker Michael Collins. You have all these people in Canada, and that's great, but you also have people in Oregon like me. And Oregon has a lot of trees and caves and rivers and lions and tigers and bears, oh no, and all these nice little things, and so Oregon is not totally worthless, and Oregon's one of my favorite states, and I'm a little biased because I'm from Oregon, so obviously I'm going to like Oregon, but it's a little hotter, not hotter, but a little more cooler than California. California's like totally hot and boring, and the water is not as drinkable as the water in Oregon. So Oregon has better drinking water than the Oregon, Oregon. Did I say Oregon? California. Than the water in California. That's what I'm trying to say. Early on, I was called an alien by my brother and my older sister. That's all I'm saying. That's the story, and it only takes 5 seconds to tell that story. And I had a bunk bed. That was my spaceship that came in from another planet. Even though I'm not really an alien, if I was, it'd be my bunk bed, and that's the secret identity. It's like, oh, that's just my bunk bed, but secret identity, Superman, Clark Kent, same person. Clark Kent's secret identity is Superman, and the secret identity to my bunk bed is that it was really a spaceship. That is, if I was really an alien, it'd really be a bunk bed spaceship that would take me back to my home planet if I could ever get it fixed. Which maybe I was able to zoom around and fly around with my spaceship for pretend I would play like, oh yeah, I'm on my spaceship, but it's just a bunk bed. But I never really went back to my home planet. I don't think. We also had a closet in my room, me and my brother's room, and the closet was like an elevator, and it goes up and down to different floors. Cause we're really in a really big building that had like thousands of floors, like literally thousands, not just hundreds of floors, like so big of a planet. And I also had another game I would play called a bonus game, where you get points for running through this world of like almost like a Mario world. And I think that's where it got its inspiration. And then you have the land of the universe. Is something that you find when you go like on my bunk bed spaceship, and you go into space, and you go down whatever direction is actually down, and you go to the bottom of the universe. There's land, and it's called the land of the universe, and it's like the bottom of the universe because the universe is really just a sky, and at the bottom of the sky is land that just goes forever down and forever right and left and north and south and east and west. And I would play that game. It was similar to the bonus game, except bigger, because the bonus game was a game that you play where you're running on Earth, and I think it's Earth, or just a planet, and you're running and getting points. But then you have the land of the universe, which is not Earth because it's not round, but it's like forever land. At the bottom of the universe is forever land that goes forever, and it's like you can explore it and conquer lands forever because it's the land of the universe. And I need to copyright that because it's like crazy idea. But then you also have another story, another idea that I had early on when I was young, like 7 years old or so, around that time, before I was 10 years old. And the other idea is about a tree that's so big. I think it's only one tree too. It could have been a bunch of trees. And maybe there were other trees too later on. And maybe they were on the bonus game Earth, or on the land of the universe Earth, universe, land of the universe, land that goes on and on. Maybe the trees were on there, or the one tree was on there. Why am I so easy? Oh my goodness. But maybe it was on there, maybe it wasn't, I don't know. But it's like a tree that just goes on and on and on, up and up and up, and you can have adventures and climb it and fight people and fall. And but when you fall, you can fall for hours and hours, and then finally grab a branch and continue and have like big tree forts, and people never see the ground because it's so tall. The tree is so tall, so it's just like a tree, but I don't think I actually had a name to the tree. But you have all these different games, and it's really exciting because you're an alien, so that's what you can do. Because it's not like you're going to grow up and pass 6th grade, because I would take these required state tests because I was in homeschool, but the state wanted to make sure that I was learning something. I would go take these tests, and then they would look at the results and say, oh man, this guy's mentally retarded, he's mentally sound, and he's never going to pass 6th grade because he's just an alien. They didn't actually say I was going to be an alien or if I was an alien, but they did say that I had problems in my head and that I was mentally challenged and that I would not progress because of the patterns that I was following into. It basically said, hey, I'm not going to go places and do things. But I did, and I went to public high school after I did homeschool, and then I went to college, and I did a couple different years of, like 3 or 4 or 5 years of colleges. I went to 4 different colleges and learned a bunch. I really did, and I went places and did things. But it all started out with siblings making fun of me, and I'm not trying to make fun of them back or try to seek revenge or say that I'm a pitiful person. You should feel sorry for me because I was being made fun of. Maybe I kind of deserved being made fun of, being an alien. An alien who always has to touch his face all the time because maybe there's like something underneath, and maybe this is just a costume, and underneath is like a big reptile, something scary. Maybe that's all I am. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But I started out as an alien, but that did not stop me. It did not stop me, so when the going gets tough, I will eat some oatmeal cookies because I like oatmeal. So what do you do when the going gets tough? When people make fun of you or something like that, what do you do? And what do you want to see in future videos about stories about my life? Let me know in the comments. Or email me, originaloatmeal@gmail.com. 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 Or leave me a comment below and like me and subscribe me and have sex with me. No, just kidding. I really need to stop saying that. But I think there's just like hair in my face, and that's the thing that's going at me. I'm an alien, and I don't like hair in my face, and I'm sticking to it. But I'm not sticking to the hair. What about you? What are you sticking to? What do you like about life, and what do you not like about life? And what do you like about when people make fun of you or not make fun of you? Or does it matter? What affects you? What doesn't affect you? What goes past the line, over the line? What is too far? When people, kind of make fun of each other, and sometimes just it's fun and games and it's okay, but what is too far? I want to know. Tell me in the comments below. Or I will make fun of you and make fun of your mother. Your mother is so fat. Your mother can't fit through the door. She's stuck in the door. So she calls McDonald's on the phone and say, hey, can you come over and give me some Big Mac? Yeah, because I want